Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I have a chess miniature to share with you, only a 19 mover. On the white end, LeelaKnightOdds, playing against Fabiano Caruana. Pomegranate on Lichess. This was their last game. It was played on February 6th. Guess Caruana had enough of playing against this monster after this game, at least for a bit. Let's see how it went. We kick off with a Scandinavian Defense. Seems like a good strategy to have the queen maybe out and about, and maybe you could get to a point where the queen here is so active, white feels compelled to exchange queens. Not the case here. Ends up getting reeled in not long from now. Let's see how Leela manages to do this. First, some development with tempo. Block. And castles the rook now opposite the queen. There is no fancy discovery, however. Caruana played bishop d7 here. I should note the time control. 3+2 time control for this one. Follow-up from here is knight to b5. Now, a move I was curious about here is bishop to a6. Hitting a weak point, hitting the queen. In response to this, Caruana has the following move available. Queen h5, for instance. Being prepared to give up a pawn if we could exchange queens. So something like this, I imagine Caruana would be cool with, just to get the queens off. Not a bad investment. But how Leela plays it, it's this tricky knight b5 move, which is paving the way for d4. There's also, we might say, at this stage, a restriction placed on the queen, a fork nearby. So she has a responsibility. We get queenside castles here, opposite sides castles game now. In comes d4, queen f5, and now f3, taking away squares from multiple pieces. Follow-up from here is a6, and now Caruana finds himself in some serious hot water. Follow-up from here, g4. This set him into a big think, especially for this time format. Spent about 50 seconds at this moment. Ends up playing queen e6. Now, what Stockfish thinks is best is this capture on g4, and then some follow-up idea of a4, fishing pole ideas, ready to spring the rook to life. Not ideal to have to give some material like this, clearly. Caruana's try is with bishop e6. Now comes bishop to d3, and this queen is going to be lost pretty much at this point. What is top at this stage, the move in the game, queen captures rook and then pawn takes knight, tracks down a rook and knight for the queen at least. Here's the thing, if you try and stay central with the queen, queen d5, the only other safe move, at least temporarily for the queen, it's immediately questioned with c4, and you're not going to get as much material. This is already looking at it plus 2.5 here. So best is what is played in the game. Queen takes rook, pawn takes knight, and now a4. There's only one move that keeps black pretty much in the game, or with some slight advantage, minus 1.5 territory, and that is b4. Trying to keep this a file shut down, but Caruana plays it with knight takes d4. There's a shot here on f3, a fork right around the corner. Let me throw this position to you as a pop quiz. How would you respond here? Feel free to pause the video. All right, here's the thing. In this position, we don't have to react to this threat. White has a stronger threat. The reply here, the only winning move, is a takes b5. There's a mate 1 threat. Now, how Caruana plays it, he takes on b5, provides an escape hatch for the king on d7, There's another wild line, another option available for black. This here is another top move. You could go in for knight takes f3 check, but not with the intention to follow up and take the queen. You're getting mated, but rather this follow-up idea to swipe the pawn on g4, defend the knight, and you also once more have a place to run after rook a8. This does carry out a bit more. Right around here, in Stockfish's eyes, it looks at queen c3 as top, but I think Leela may very well go for the second rate move. It's really complicated looking. What do you think about this variation here with bishop f5 check, followed up with rook check, rook exchange, and now this queen d1 check. In the end, we swipe this bishop and then fall back here. This is looking super complicated. The Leela is a monster with the bishops, and well, I imagine also in a position where when Leela has a queen and you don't, you're certainly asking for trouble. So pretty sharp line. My point is that this capture here on f3, going all the way back, this capture here on f3 at this point is available, but good luck sorting out that resulting position playing as a human. All right, in this one, it is bishop takes b5. We get the bishop exchange. Leela develops. Follow up e5. And now the knight is given a kick, in this case, back here to rank 1. If you move forward, this is what you would be asking for. A check, a rook exchange, and now your knight finds itself in hot water. It's in a pin, and there's also c4 right around the corner. So not appealing to stay central. Caruana runs in reverse. In comes c4, knight d4, and after queen a5, Caruana resigns. It calls it equal in this final position, but playing against Leela, you're just not going to win this ever. Leela has a queen, you don't, you're dead, pretty much. Looking at the forward moves, if the game continued, first of all, one of the moves it's looking at as top in Stockfish's eyes is c5. If we look at the forward knight moves, for instance, tracking down this pawn, here's how this might go. Something like this, where the knight is captured and the b pawn ends up getting tracked down. Leela has something to work with here in the pawns, and you have an exposed king. Not going to end well for black. And what would also not end well is if the knight goes somewhere else. These two squares in particular may seem appealing. c2 with a fork, or b3 with a fork. This one here. In both cases, Leela could respond in the following way, and that is queen a8 check and queen a4 check, and the knight will simply be won. But in this one, we only go as far as move 19 here out of the Scandinavian defense, queen a5, and Caruana resigned. So what are your thoughts with this one? Feel free, as usual, to leave any feedback to this video in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe took a thing or two away. That's all for now. Take care. Bye.